What's going on, guys? I'm Jace.
I'm Josh.
And we are back. I know we're still behind a little bit. We still have a couple in the first half of season 9. Season 9? This is season 9, correct?
I have no fucking clue. I don't pay attention.
Pretty sure it's season 9.
So we're starting out with James Bond versus
John Wick.
Keanu Reeves. Not John Wick, just Keanu. I'm gonna.
If it was Keanu Reeves, he'd die. But John Wick actually has a chance.
I'm gonna be biased. I think it's John Wick. He has fought like so many dudes. Did you watch this? You said you watched the first movie, right?
Only the first one. That's it.
In that one alone, he takes on like 30 guys who are like ambushing him at his house. I wouldn't even say ambush because he knows they're coming, but he still kills them all.
Here's the thing. John Wick is just wreaking havoc because he's pissed about his dog getting killed. No hate. Rest in peace, little doggy. He absolutely has the right to do that, I think, if you ask me. And in doing that, everyone's trying to go after him just to be like, okay, knock off your rampage.
I just love that.
Basically.
Why did you slap my son? Because he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And the guy just replies, oh. That's how badass John Wick is. I also loved about that movie was that everyone knew him. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, John. Look around, see all the dead bodies. Are you working again? Something like that. Just settling some things.
Police came to his house, they saw the dead bodies and be like,
hey, John.
Be careful.
He even took on like other assassins. That's something that happens in the second movie. He has to take on other assassins.
Great. I'm going to get spoiled.
You might get spoiled.
Oh, you know what? Sidebar. Kind of sort of related to the fact that I've only watched the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've decided during the year of 2023, I'm making a goal to watch 100 new movies that I have not seen before.
Not bad.
And I'll enlist your guys' help, but that's more of a later date. Just thought I'd mention it.
I haven't seen a lot of James Bond though. But he has the advantage of being or having been around longer than John Wick.
Right. And
then again, we can't.
He's been John Wick. Or sorry, no. James Bond has been played by several actors, so there's a lot more.
They could have just done something like ridiculous. Or what if there's a comic book? In comic books, there could be. I
wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of physical media,
or like James Bond the animated series or some bullshit.
Oh God,
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? They'll tell us in the video. I'm not going to look it up.
As of right now, I am biased to John Wick.
Here's the thing: we are in fact in season 9 of Death Battle, and this is the mid-season premiere. And as I said, we're going to keep up with the current episodes, and we'll eventually go back to episodes that we missed. So steadfast, just hang in there. We'll get to them, I promise. Should we get into it, Josh?
Let's just get into it.
Let's get into it. I don't know enough about either of these characters to make a decision now, but I do agree with you. It's probably going to be John Wick. So let's find out.
James Bond, the world-famous secret agent 007.
John Wick, the legendary hitman who did the impossible.
Whether they fly solo or operate on behalf of the government, the world is filled with professional killers of all shapes and sizes.
But which one of cinema's super assassins is packing Parabellum, and which one will live to die another day? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
weapons, armor, and skills. Find out who would win a death battle.
Whoa! Jinx.
From
doesn't count.
the Crab Key to the crap stables of Casino Royale, from Russia with Love to Moonraker at the edge of outer space, no man has saved the world more times than Bond.
James Bond. He's the OG action hero, the slickest Scot there ever was, the coldest warrior of the swingin' 60s.
After a climbing accident in the French Alps took his parents, the young James
there is a comic book.
Graduated to the Ministry of Defense, just in time for World War II.
He rose through the ranks, quickly becoming a commander of the Royal Navy. And when you find
James Bond has a gun that only works for him.
So, after the war, James decided on Her Majesty's Secret Service and became a special agent of MI6. And they were so impressed, he was given his first 2 state-sanctioned assassinations. With this baptism in blood, Bond was granted the legendary 00 status and a license to kill with impunity.
As the premier defender of the West, Agent 007 is a jack of all trades when it comes to kicking coming.
There's so many actors playing 007.
And basically everyone's ass for the past 60 years. From the novels to the movies to the comics and games, he's been rebooted tons of times.
There was ever a time for nostalgia critics.
Bond is a master of infiltration,
What the?
driving, diving,
Disguised as a
boating,
croc.
climbing, horseback riding, airplane pilot, swordsman, knife fighter, knife thrower, people thrower.
And deadliest of all, gamer. Bond carries his classic Walter PPK, among the world's first successful double-action semi-automatic pistols. While it only carries 9 rounds, its small size makes it optimal for concealment.
And a microdermal sensor in the grip coded to Bond's fingerprint means only he can fire it.
It even comes with unique ammo that breaks apart upon entry and creates 8 exit wounds, traveling like a bullet but hitting like a shotgun.
Especially deadly considering Bond has the golden eye of an expert marksman, able to take out a room of armed guards in a single second, or shoot the fuel tank of a helicopter from a speeding boat a quarter of a mile away.
He's just as deadly disarmed. Bond combines multiple martial arts like judo, boxing, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu, allowing him to keep up even when outnumbered.
This mix of styles is likely the Welsh self-defense system known as Goshinkwai, which is taught by the modern Special Air Service.
Though that all pales in comparison to his greatest ability.
Ladies.
And
Fucking, yeah!
laying down.
Bond girls.
He's so proficient at seduction, it actually feels more like a superpower.
Look, we're not kidding. He once seduced a female assassin sent to kill him so thoroughly, she threw herself in front of the bullet meant for him. She knew him for less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes Bond does stuff I can only describe
Yeah,
as
Cap.
superhero shit. Look at this. So why not follow that impulse and give him some superhero gadgets too?
Developed by MI6's resident quartermaster, Q, Bond's spy gadgetry often complements his knack for problem solving and quick thinking.
He's got a pen that'll explode after 3 clicks and disarm after a 4th, an Omega Seamaster watch that can shoot a laser beam, a cigarette that fires a miniature rocket, and C4 toothpaste that can be remotely detonated. Probably a safer bet than that pen, especially if you're a compulsive clicker like me. Wait, was I on 3 or 4?
Throw it!
He also occasionally wears a lightweight bulletproof vest, as well as a garrote wire for quiet kills and a grappling hook hidden within his belt buckle.
That's only the semi-normal shit. He's carried earbuds that give him super hearing, X-ray shades, ultrasonic cufflink grenades, a stun gas keychain, a cell phone taser, exploding remote-controlled drones, an
Okay,
aerosuit that turns
John Wick don't got any of that.
invisible, and a frigging jetpack. You've gotta have a hell of a pair of thunderballs to piss off a crazy Scot riding one of those.
But his greatest weapon is the one, the only,
His dick!
the Aston Martin DB5.
His car.
I thought we were still talking about him. Never mind. This absolute beauty isn't just good looks. She's packing front-mounted machine guns, oil slicks, smoke screens, and of course, the ejector seat.
Well,
Oh, and good luck trying to break in. This baby
I don't think this
is
is gonna be a
insanely
chase
bulletproof.
scene.
Like, just
John Wick
look
does
at
have a
this.
car, but
It
it's
won't
not a...
stop. Still going. Still going.
Q has provided numerous vehicles over the years with ever more
It's
insane
still,
features,
it's
like
still
my God.
something in his arsenal. What the
building
fuck?
holograms and a remote control built into Bond's phone.
Ah, just look at him, living his best life. And why wouldn't he? He's a globe-trotting ladies' man with the UK Treasury as his personal
What the
credit card.
fuck?
He's got the world in the palm of his hand.
But for some, the world is not enough. Though Bond's iterations may vary, one thing remains throughout. Behind that debonair smile and British wit is a broken, soulless shell. A man only good for killing.
I guess it's no surprise that a dude who smokes up to 70 cigarettes a day and routinely drinks enough to enter a coma might have a death wish.
Now, James wasn't always like this. Not long after getting his 00, he found love, and loved so
Oh, but
much
then she died.
he left the Secret Service behind.
But there are some lives you can't escape, and some lives you can't save, no matter how hard you try. Sometimes all that's left is to kill the love inside you until all that matters is revenge.
There's no denying Bond's psychopathic tendencies. He's killed hundreds of enemy combatants over his career and might just enjoy the act of torture.
But what makes me respect him is he never forgets a pun afterward.
All that hate and regret wrapped up into one man with nothing to live for. The perfect assassin for a dying empire.
Bond is strong enough to hold his own against superhuman henchmen like Oddjob and Jaws, who can lift a van off the ground.
He survived being blasted by a Stinger missile, falling hundreds of feet into a river, and having his eggs scrambled.
Oh!
Even fast enough to dodge gunfire nearly point blank and missiles while in free fall and still shoot people. This is the superhero shit we were talking about.
Time and time again, he's outsmarted criminal masterminds like Dr. No, Goldfinger, and Scaramanga, the man with
Was
the
that-
golden gun. He's
Was
even
that
I did
Patrick
not
Stewart
see.
with hair?
I did not see.
the international terrorist Blofeld.
In 2 different timelines, no less. And plot twist, in the second, Blofeld was Bond's long-lost adopted brother. Which, if I recall correctly, also happened in Austin Powers. But that's why we love the old Scottish so-and-so. Who else could escape a giant space laser by...
Oh, the effects!
What more can we say about 007? He's got the best job in the business, and nobody does it better.
How many Daniel Craig Bond movies are there?
You ever
There's
just
like 5
screw
maybe?
up, like
Maybe
really
6?
badly? Like,
That's their entrance. That's the
So bad, you're just for the rest of your life.
that's the start.
Yes. Let's lay out a hypothetical. You see a car that you like, but its owner won't sell. So, you follow him home, beat him senseless, steal his car, and kill his dog.
The dog his beloved wife gifted him after she died very recently. So yeah, pretty big mistake.
And this man, well, he just happens to be the single deadliest assassin in the entire world.
He may be called Baba Yaga, but he's not the boogeyman. He's the one you sent to
Kill the
goddamn
fucking boogeyman.
John Wick. So yeah, that's one pretty huge mistake.
The full story of this Spectre is almost non-existent, but rumor has it he was trained by the Ruska-Roma crime syndicate from a young age, before moving to America and making a name for himself in its criminal underworld.
Terrifying enough to scare the living daylights out of even the most hardened murderers.
Wick is a master martial artist, combining several schools into an all-purpose fighting style that focuses on maximum efficiency with minimal effort.
Almost no one who has fought him directly has lived to tell the tale. So which specific forms he practices are for his eyes only. So why don't we look at the martial arts used to prepare for the movies by everyone's favorite immortal, Keanu Reeves.
Reeves combines Sambo, Aikido, Judo, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for defensive joint locks, throws, and wrestling moves to avoid as much damage to himself as possible while using his opponent's own weight against them.
Though his go-to is Krav Maga, which is designed to take all the best moves from various martial arts to make the ultimate fighting style.
While most martial arts are designed with other purposes in mind, like exercise, Krav Maga's entire goal is basically murder.
Oh!
Boy, if that isn't Wick to a T. In his hands, literally anything can be a deadly weapon. Knives, swords,
The
books,
pencil.
his belt. Shit, he once took out 3 guys with a pencil. A
Oh!
R2 pencil.
A
And
fucking
thanks to John's
pencil!
misunderstanding of the human body,
Woo!
he can target weak points and vital organs with ease.
But thanks to the Continental, he doesn't have to rely on writing utensils to execute his victims.
Imagine a chain of hotels around the world that serve as a front for a whole underground society of assassins. He can consult the wine steward's robust selection.
Pistols, revolvers, submachine guns, assault rifles, shotgun, plastic explosives, it's all on the menu.
Though Wick prefers his Heckler & Koch P30L, a polymer-framed semi-automatic handgun that holds 15 rounds of 9x19 parabellum.
Which he wields like an artist does a paintbrush. Wick can empty entire rooms full of enemies before they can blink, once even taking out 7 armed guards in only 3 seconds.
He's the definition of accurate, almost never missing a shot, and that includes on horseback.
He's on a
and
fucking horse.
Motorcycle back. If he's got a view to a kill, you can bet he's taking it.
And he comes literally dressed to kill with his perfectly tailored, tactically lined suit jacket that is completely bulletproof. Even repeated gunshots from close range do nothing to him.
It also helps him blend into the shadows for some sick stealth kills, and even disappear in plain sight like the goddamn Batman.
Wick eventually joined the Tarasov mob and quickly became one of their top enforcers, a grim reaper who hunted their enemies with divine
what's this?
prejudice.
But maybe this
Stop it.
angel of death was more human than we first thought. After years of being a badass, Wick wanted out of the mob to get married to the love of his life and retire. Wow, I wonder how that first date conversation went. Man, she must have really fallen for him. I guess he put the ass in assassin.
So his boss gave him an impossible task. He could leave if he wiped out every last one of the mob's enemies in a single night. Which he did, because human or no, he's still John Wick.
Stop it!
And he lived happily ever after. Well, until his former boss's snot-nosed son screwed up. Like, really badly. Great job, Theon. You never miss.
That
Theon?
wasn't just some dog, but a semblance of hope. The opportunity to grieve unalone. His last tether to a happy life. So Wick was back with a vengeance. Prepared to kill every last person that got in his way until the whole of New York's criminal underworld had been razed by his bloody crusade. Over the course of the 3 movies, which span only about 2 weeks,
God.
Wick left over 300 bodies in his wake.
Wait, those 3 movies only take place over 2 weeks?
Yes.
Like seeing
What the
sky
fuck?
Oh, he killed a guy with a
There's
horse!
no escape. He survived being stabbed, rammed by cars, shot in the stomach, blown up, mutilated, and knocked off of a 10-story building, all within a fortnight.
Oh, and somewhere in there he found the energy to trek through the Saharan desert. And it's not like his injuries from the previous movie had time to heal, or the ones from the movie before that.
We cannot emphasize this enough. John Wick is unstoppable.
He's strong enough to toss around full-grown men, snap bone, and body slam 2 assassins through a bulletproof glass floor.
Wick absolutely annihilated his former Tarasov employers, the Neapolitan crime family, Kimura, and fended off an international army of assassins attacking him at random, one after the other, every few minutes.
Even after being declared excommunicado by the Continental, bereft of his former resources, he killed every last soldier sent after him by the High Table.
With barely a quantum of solace to rest. Like we said, completely unstoppable. Outgunned, outmanned, it doesn't matter. John Wick lost everything in the world that meant anything to him, and that means he won't stop killing until there's no one left, or he dies trying. And good freaking luck with that.
I didn't think about that. The injuries through the movies still didn't fucking heal. This is tough. I'm gonna have to give the edge to James Bond.
Why?
Because you got the better arsenal. He's got
Better arsenal. I mean, you think that John Wick hasn't faced pretty much everything that you could possibly throw at him?
They imply that he's been a fucking assassin for years, but they never really shine a light on that. There's not enough feats to go off of.
300 kills in 2 weeks. People going after him like every single second of every day.
Yeah, that was
with no goal other than to kill him.
And he just fucking they all get fucking domed. I want to root for John Wick, but James Bond is like superhuman. What were he's got his car, and what were the strength feats? What was James Bond's like strength feats?
I don't even remember.
James Bond can do fucking anything. Remember when he fucking he like windsurfed that wave out of nowhere, or he shot like the fuel line of a helicopter from a moving car or a moving boat? I'm gonna go with James Bond, but if it's John Wick, I'll be happy.
John Wick. I'm going with John Wick.
Oh, so we're opposite?
We're opposite.
Fuck. All right. And if whoever's wrong has got to slap the other person.
No time to die in Death Battle!
Nice. Does he have a...
That's James.
Is not one to be taken lightly. Be careful, 007. And happy hunting.
Your concern is always touching, Q. Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred. What can I get you, mate? Drinks are on me.
I prefer to be alone.
Unfortunately, I wasn't asking, Baba Yaga. Now you can come with me, or we can do this here.
Killing isn't permitted on company grounds.
Lucky me.
I might have made a mistake, because I realized what makes James Bond different than all the other, like, professionally trained killers who have tried to kill John Wick.
Seems you've got me at a disadvantage. You won't mind giving a dead man walking one last smoke?
What does MI6 want with me?
Your reputation precedes you.
It's the gun rocket. It's the gun cigarette.
No, you won't.
Oh, come on. That didn't do anything to him. No! Woo!
got lasers?
Did you forget about that?
It's fucking Buzz Lightyear, man.
Oh, the gun's gonna explode.
I lost track of clicking. Run! John doesn't know about it.
To be entirely honest, I lost count.
James, you fucking knew the answer. You knew about the exploding pen.
To be entirely honest, I lost count.
How crazy would it be if John Wick won by like clicking the pen and then stabbing him in the eye with it, and then it explodes and kills James Bond?
Oh, it's
Remote controlled car. What the fuck? Oh, it's gonna go haywire. Woo!
Dodge again, dodge again.
How much did that damage did that do, though? Oh, fuck! It did the thing! It did the thing!
What comes around goes around, as they say.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Bond, come in. What's the mission status?
Smashing. Positively smashing.
Oh, do grow up, 007.
Okay.
KO!
Fuck,
Never
man.
thought Wick could lose, but I guess I'll never say never again. Though his skills and brutal tenacity would have saved Wick initially, against James Bond, you only live twice.
You mean once, right?
I know what I said.
Uh-huh. Well, despite all that, Wick met his match in Agent 007.
And match is the optimal word here. Wick may have been an expert martial artist, but Bond has actually practiced several of the same styles Wick has, and has been shown to be just as skilled a fighter, even defeating master martial artist himself.
Wick's ability to shatter a floor of bulletproof glass definitely makes him superhumanly strong, but Bond has fought off similarly powerful henchmen in the past.
And while Wick's speed and accuracy with a gun may look unbeatable, Bond's is just as impressive.
He's landed accurate shots just as well as Wick ever has, but more importantly, he has a faster quick draw.
That's right, despite being played by Neo himself, Wick has never dodged bullets. Bond, on the other hand, has, and that superior speed gave him an edge in both close-quarter combat and on the draw.
Though since both had body armor, the fight probably wasn't going to be won by guns alone. And that's where Bond held his biggest advantage, his gadgets.
There was no way Wick would see an exploding pen or a laser watch coming, and that's the whole point of Bond's gadgets. They're seemingly normal, everyday objects that'll take his enemy by surprise.
Given time, Bond has always used these to come up with game-winning strategies, even against numerically superior foes, especially with his more absurd technology like the invisible nanosuit and remote-controlled explosive drones.
Wick's endurance might be mind-blowing, but he isn't invincible.
He can keep fighting even on death's door, but the deadliness of Bond's trick weapons would not have given him that option.
Diamonds are forever, but against someone just as skilled with an arsenal straight out of science fiction, Wick's luck definitely wasn't. Bond may have been the spy who loved me,
I don't
but
understand.
against
How the
Wick,
fuck-
he
how the
was
fuck
going
was
to
Wick not able to
live
dodge
and
the
let
chandelier?
die.
They gotta pay
You
off
can
the joke
live.
of him clicking the
Tomorrow
pen.
never dies. Nailed it. Look, I just had to fit the last few movies in, okay? Oh, wait, shit! I forgot about Octopussy!
The winner is Bond.
Who's next?
James Bond.
Bond. James Bond.
Hey, if you want more Death Metal ASAP, why not grab a membership? You'll get exclusive emotes, badges, live chat, live streams, and a bunch of behind-the-scenes
Angry.
stuff. Just click that join button. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Death Battle. Who's that? Black Adam versus Apocalypse.
What?
Sure, I guess. The thing about Apocalypse is that his powers vary from canon to canon.
God damn it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop!
Why are you
I
hitting
swear
me?
to God, stop!
Fine, I'm just gonna hit you. Fine.
I'm not ready.
You gotta get ready, man.
Oh, God damn. Bam! Oh, no. And you do that, I'm doing it to you, and everything resets. No more slap pets action. Ah!
I get you. I don't know.
Motherfucker.
I don't think I got him that good. It was just.
That was more of like a punch.
I'm sorry. I saw my window. It was open palm.
That's like, what is it? What is it? Lucario used force palm. What the fuck?
Remember one time you got me in the nose.
Oh, hey, that was because
One time you went like this, and you got me in like my neck, and I was like, oh, that was like a punch. I remember as soon as we started, I started having like decider's remorse. I'm like, wait a minute, what makes James Bond that much different from like the hundreds of trained killers who've tried to take on John Wick?
Kind of a dumb question. Now you think about it.
Nah, yeah.
The gadgets probably.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome at everything. Next time we have some of those clips and when they were showing for James Bond, there's like so many different actors that have played him. To me, it just looked like a bunch of just random fight scenes. Like some of them I know, like Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig, but other ones.
You know, Daniel Craig's done playing it.
The most recent one was his last one.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I never cared for James Bond. Next we have Apocalypse versus Black Adam. Black Adam I think should be like the same as Shazam. There might be some differences. I don't know what they are. He hasn't been in enough stuff to
It's
show
difficult to
off.
imagine because I mean, Apocalypse. That's not what Apocalypse is, though.
He's a mutant. But here's the thing. Let me tell you something, Jace. His power. I told you earlier that his powers vary from canon to canon. Apocalypse. So much so that like even the movie didn't know what to do with him.
He basically just kept being able to just perform a ritual that allowed him to take on the powers of the next person.
He just did stuff. Like that movie's dumb just because like in the beginning it shows off that he can do anything, and he represents this by decapitating a bunch of people with a fistful of sand. But then later, when everyone's shooting their lasers at him, he doesn't do that. It just, like, the next one this was some good CGI animation, but the next one has pixel animation written all over it. It's gonna be like those choreographed, like, Dragon Ball Z style fighting pixel animation where they're, like, flying around and punching each other. I just kind of feel like it's gonna be kind of, like, on the blander side, but it is what it is. I knew what Death Battle I keep coming back to and I actually, like, really enjoy is Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, where they kill each other and they look at each other and they go, "Why aren't you dead?" And then it ends with like Reverse Flash like grabbing him and then like running at full speed and like scraping his body across the ground.
Eventually taking away the ring.
Yeah, that too. Let's wrap it up here. This was fine. This was a good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
See you guys in the next one.